Welcome to Bonehead. And I'm telling you, this was a James idea, I think.
It
Yes.
James
was.
and James put a lot of work and effort into it. So he's told Chad and I. We'll see. We don't know how this is going to work out. Thank you, Barbara, for giving us a little feedback on how we're doing the split screen a little different on the speaker. You're one of the few people I reached out to. I need to reach out to a couple of our other avid watchers and listeners, but you do watch it. A lot of our people listen, so let's see how this goes. James, you want to explain it?
Okay, so here's what started this. I was thinking, as I sometimes do, not often, but
That
sometimes.
that's a
Um,
failed.
and yeah, well, I mean, and this is what I think about as they're going to hear. So gentlemen, the kids today, they
When
love
he's
their
saying
anime.
gentlemen, is he referring to us?
Well, just anybody that'll listen at this point. The kids today love their anime. Like, oh, it's the manga and anime. It's all over the place. I've got some over here that I read with my kids. We do a book club type thing. But anyway, so it's a big thing, right? And it's really caught on. It's been several different things. And I was thinking, you all watch movies, and there's
Really?
all the time there's remakes being made. So I pitched the idea. How about you all tell me some of the movies that you think should be remade in anime, as you know, animation, Japanese style animation, and I would take these. And so if you're listening to this, you'll still be able to listen to it, but you may want to dart over to YouTube for this because this will have some visual elements. And I will take these and I will plug them into one of those newfangled HAL units,
Yeah.
AI, and I will have it create images of what it thinks the movie posters for these films that you all say should be adapted into anime, and we'll just show them as we talk about it. And so that is what I did. And by the way, I we said we would say this for the air, gentlemen. I've seen things because
Yeah.
the way AI works is it's a large language model. It builds up and it learns from what people feed it. And I used about 5 different AI generators just to see what I could come up with, all of them free because I ain't paying for this. We don't make money off this show. If an AI company wants to sponsor us, we'll redo this episode. But so I was using the free AI generators, and since it grows off of what people feed it, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
I was putting in the movies that you all suggested, and they were coming back with all girl casts, all female casts.
That was our intention. I don't know about
And
Chad.
yeah, well, I didn't say those images. They
Which
would.
why didn't you?
I don't understand this
I
shit.
mean, there were a couple. I was like, I'm pretty sure that movie doesn't even have. I mean, I don't remember it that
Are
way.
you
Now,
saying
maybe.
the thing didn't have an all-girl cast when Carpenter did it?
Well, I think maybe it had an all girl cast. Maybe I misremembered that, but I don't remember them fighting that space demon by making out and throwing
I
things
can
at each
tell you
other.
the thing would have ended a lot differently if it was an all female cast.
Actually, I think the thing would just adapt to whoever it was fighting and kill it. And you know, it's the thing. It's gonna anyway. Anyway, so gentlemen, do you want me to go ahead and share my screen and I'll do a brief little intro because I do want to say some stuff because we are using AI imagery. So let me share this. It's a very special bonehead because we're doing more images. We're doing something more for the online folks that so they get to see some stuff. So again, if you're listening to this, we're going to talk about stuff, but you might want to pop over to YouTube. So I did want to say a couple things real quick. As I wanted to show, anime has adapted a lot of stuff already. We're not breaking new ground here. I actually
You
own the
really did make
Highlander
a
anime.
PowerPoint.
I did make a power. I told you I was
It's,
going to.
I know you put a lot of effort into this. I take it back.
The Supernatural anime series, the Wolverine anime series, all of these things are out there. You can buy them
Yeah,
on DVD.
and can I chime in here too?
Yeah, please, by all means.
No.
Yeah, and just so DC has also jumped into that. So you have like Batman Ninja, which was a very popular anime.
I did watch
And
that. It was different than I expected it to be, but I did enjoy it. It was
right,
just different.
and they're talking about a sequel to that as well because it was so popular. And they just released the Suicide Squad anime version, which is actually in Japanese. You have to it comes in subtitles. I've watched a couple episodes of that, and that's pretty interesting as well. But yeah, it's the anime is coming from all different variations. They actually have another one as well I just can't remember the name of it, but it's Justice League related, where they actually team up with an anime group.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll have to check that one out. That sounds
yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
So this, and as we said earlier, I mean, this is everywhere now, and it should be. It's really cool. It's really stylistic. You can do things just because the historical setup for it works so well. You can, and quite frankly, I'm enjoying, quote unquote, discovering some of it with my kids. Demon Slayer, we've watched some of the other ones as well. So, but onto our topic. I did want to say though, we are using AI. We respect real artists. We've had real artists on the show. We talked about Bernie Wrightson. We've talked about that. So I wanted to say up front,
We've not had Bernie on the show.
no, but we talk about Bernie Wrightson. We've had several artists on the show, Bryce, and all that stuff. We totally respect those people. They do art. AI just finds other art and goes, okay, we'll layer this on top of it.
Yeah,
So,
Bryce O'Quay, Ken Kirk.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I was
Well,
trying to
Pete
think of
Von
the other artists.
Shally doing
Pete Von
storyboards
Shally.
and doing all that. So we've had a lot of artists. So I want to say up front, we don't encourage people to use AI for book cover.
Yeah, we just can't draw for we
Yeah.
can't draw for shit.
And
It would
as I say
literally-
here on the
it would
slide,
literally be stick figures with big eyes. That's all it would be if we
Yeah.
did this.
well, except for Joe's, which would be a lot more like the ones I said I wouldn't show.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I don't know about the eyes thing. I'm not particularly fond of those, but sure.
But anyway, so we have no budget, so I use the free AI generators. But also, especially one Chad sent me, broke the AI.
Ooh,
Like,
I
it
can't wait to see which one
literally
that was.
Just went, what the heck is this? And even when I tried to put in clarifying things like the film came out this year, this, like it finally said, oh, this must be what you mean. And so I put what it generated. Most of these, I have 2 to 3 images for each one. And so the prompt that I gave it was the name of the film. In the case of Chad's that kept breaking it, the year the film came out, the director, everything, to try to get it to detect what I was talking about.
I literally can't wait to see which one broke it.
And then I would say generate it as a movie poster. So these are movie posters that it said would represent the anime version of the films you all picked. And so I just put them in. I rotated between the 3 of us. I think, Joe, I have you starting first.
I don't even remember.
Oh, no, Chad.
That's me.
Chad, you picked Dead Heat. Now tell the people why you picked Dead Heat. Why did you think this should be an anime?
Honestly, I just think the story of Dead Heat would make a perfect anime. So if you don't know the story of Dead Heat, it's about 2 partners, 2 cops
Played by Treat Williams and Joe Piscopo.
Piscopo.
And Joe
one-
Piscopo's arms are not quite that big, I don't think, in the actual movie, but that's all.
he's quite muscular, Joe.
Yeah, he is muscular,
But yes, I do. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, Joe, Photoshop didn't exist in the early 80s.
okay.
So I'm just saying.
It looks a
Little concerned about how much time you've spent checking out Joe Piscopo, Chad. Just a little. I mean, I'm not
Dude,
judging.
this is not me. This is Joe. But I'm just saying. I'm just
No, he
kinda
arguing.
concerned. Kind of concerned that both of you are checking out Joe Piscopo. I mean, I respect
I
you.
just think his arms are a little big, but maybe not.
Which-
Next time we have him on the show, I'll ask Treat the next time I talk to him.
Oh, miss him. But Treat Williams plays a character named Roger Mortis.
On the
Mwah.
nose.
But they're investigating a machine that brings bad guys back to life and makes them, basically unstoppable. And in the process, he gets killed. And now he has a certain amount of hours to figure out who, and the machine brings him back to life. And he has a certain amount of time left before he basically decomposes and to find out who killed him. And I just think this would make a perfect anime because you get to see the process of him transforming from regular man to essentially a zombie. And you get to see him battle all of these other essentially creatures. Cause I mean, it's not only zombies. I mean, he also fights they both fight a giant, fat, overly large biker with what would you guys say? A double-sided face. It kind of looks that
double
way.
face. Yeah, it's more of like
Yeah.
a split double face. All the
Yeah.
and I'm glad that it reminds me, but all the great work is done by Steve Johnson.
Yeah, and you see like you see a love interest like just basically melt, and I just think all of that
Like I
because if
did
you
in Joe's Piscopo's large arms.
because if you watch anime, you see some of this actually occur in anime, and they just do such a fantastic job. And I think Dead Heat is just a prime movie for that making.
Well, Chad, I took your recommendation for Dead Heat and I fed it into the robots, and the robots said these should be the movie posters for your recommended anime. That's it,
Well, it's
Chad.
kind of like Wolverine.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, no, this is what it came up with. And by the way, that's what I thought. So the one on the left, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess they're, it's just random guys standing in the street looking angry.
Yeah, it just looks like Wolverine and John Cena together in a city.
Yeah. The one on the right, though, I don't get the superhero get
Yeah,
up.
why are they dressed like a superhero? Is that a unibrow?
I'm not sure what's going on there, dude. Like I said, all
And
sorts of weird things happen.
what the hell is going on with the guy on the left? It just looks like a big smudge.
Yeah, well, it looks like his chin may be over his own arm. I'm not sure what's going on there, Chad. But they assured me this was the best two out of 20 images generated for the idea for a Dead Heat anime poster.
This is an epic fail.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not even to the ones that you broke the system yet, Chad.
Oh man. Yeah. No, this does not capture Dead Heat at all.
Oh, well.
Thumbs
Joe, any
down.
thoughts?
It's fairly generic.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, we'll move on to yours. You recommended an anime Monty Python the Holy Grail, which actually I was like the Black Knight scene would be cool. I could see how that could be done.
Well, and Chad sent his picks to me accidentally, and because we're not supposed to know each other's picks, and then I sent them on going, yeah, James, these are the ones I want as a joke. And I then went and thought about it, and I was like, well, I don't know that they're going to do comedies, although Dead Heat is kind of a black comedy, dark comedy horror, I guess. It's not really a horror film, but and I'd picked something else different. And then I went with Monty Python and the Holy Grail just because of I wanted to do a comedy, but I wanted to do a setting that I thought worked really well for anime. And medieval times seems to be something that would work really well with the costumes.
Yeah, I mean they
the
do
different and and I know you're picking on me earlier. That Donald Trump Jr. thing pissed me off. But anyway, moving along about the buxom
and I knew it
thing.
would. That's why I did it.
Yeah, fuck you. Moving right along with the buxom thing. I just think it fits, and especially in the scene where, come on, it's time for the spankings. Can you imagine doing that all in anime? I just think
but I mean
hilarious.
it does work because I mean a lot of anime takes place in feudal Japan. So I mean, yeah, it works perfect.
Yeah, I wanted to do something that wasn't necessarily on the nose, and I think a couple of mine are kind of more humorous.
Yeah, Ninja Scroll, one of my favorite anime of all time.
Well, and by the way, this is one that honestly, I probably did about 40 different generated images trying to come up with one, and it had no concept of how to animate this. And
I can imagine.
Yeah.
This is what it ended up giving me that was at all usable.
Yeah, that didn't work at all.
It did not.
There's nothing funny about that at all.
The Black Knight looks like it could actually be from something a little bit more serious. And then the only thing, there's no humor in this. I don't really remember there being a female character.
Why is
well,
let's say the one in the
there is.
Let's say that looks like the one that he barges in and tries to murder.
Yeah.
But is that supposed to be Graham Chapman there as King Arthur at the front?
Yeah, I think so, Chad.
Why is he cross-eyed?
I think that's how it did the comedy, Chad. I think that's all I could figure out to make this seem humorous.
Because it recast Marty Feldman.
Oh my God, I would have watched Marty Feldman in.
I would have watched Marty Feldman.
Never seen. I don't know if Marty Feldman could grow a lopsided mustache that way. It is a
really bad mustache now that Chad brought it up. And actually, the mustache on the other guy sucks too.
Yeah,
they're not even. But in all fairness, maybe this is medievally accurate. And then they wouldn't have had good mirrors and stuff, right?
And Lord of the Rings, Cate Blanchett there in the background looks really pissed off for some reason.
Yeah, she's got a lot going on. She didn't want to be in this movie.
This doesn't work at all.
Oh,
No.
now some of them get better. It's
Okay.
oddly enough, but I mean they are all over the place. So I'll go on with mine. I thought just because my wife's been talking about it nonstop, because we're excited for the new one. I thought Beetlejuice,
There's a
right?
new one?
There's all sorts of yeah, they're even doing special Fantas. I've been told.
Yeah, I know. They keep popping up on my feed now.
know.
Ooh.
I
Every
know.
on the
There's
Facebook
there's a new
social media.
Fanta for Beetlejuice. Is
It's
it?
Oh,
it's
it's
a
all over
haunted
my feed.
apple. A haunted
it-
apple is Beetlejuice, and then Lydia is strawberry.
Is it Fanta Zero?
I don't know. I'm hoping they'll do zeros because I want to try them.
Yeah, me too.
But anyway, so Beetlejuice seems like it would work well as an
Oh,
anime as well.
he almost did it. He's almost hit it 3 times in a row.
I'm not overly concerned. Oh, is he gonna show up and make me go to the netherworld? I guess I ain't going to work tomorrow. Anyway, but yeah, again, as we've talked about, there's a lot of demons. There's a lot of. It seems like you could do something anime based with this. And when I fed this in, it turns out there's a glut of images. None of them are spectacular, but it gave me these.
That so far, that's
okay,
the best one.
Yeah, the one on the far right,
Yeah.
which is actually kind of looks like an anime Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other two, not so much. The one on the far left looks like Corpse Bride or Edward Scissorhands.
Well, here's the funny stuff. And the other thing that breaks AI quickly is because I said to do it as a movie poster, it tried to put the name on there.
Yeah.
And if you look, none of that's Beetlejuice. None of it. It doesn't even make sense, right?
The one in the middle looks like Harley Quinn and the Beetlejuice meets
the Crow.
The Crow.
Yeah. Which I'd watch.
And the one on the right is a little more Joker than it is Beetlejuice, but this still is the best out of the 3 so far.
Hold on. What's going on with the text?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Beetlejuice and
it can't. That's what I'm saying. AI can't. If you tell it to make it as a movie poster, when it tries to, it screws up the text every time.
Okay.
Because it can't generate the images and the text, so it tries to do the text, but as it scans it, it just throws in random letters. So you get, the ever great film Beatty Bouse and I don't know, Betelgeuse.
Betelgeuse. I don't know. My French is as bad as my Spanish, and I never took French, so there you go.
But by the way, this is apropos, and I did not do anything to this. I gave the same prompt. Give me an anime or generate an anime post. Generate a poster for Beetlejuice if it was anime. And I did not do anything for this, but it's just oddly enough, it tells you what all people have been feeding into this. It generated one more that I wanted to share just simply because.
Hold on, before you do, the comment of why did it give the one on the far right a David Letterman gap between the teeth there?
I don't know. But here's the funny part. Apropos and maybe only of interest to me and one of our big fans, evidently it felt the need to give me Nick Cage Beetlejuice too.
Okay, I don't know that that's Beetlejuice, but it does. I don't know. What is that line from? Oh shit, not the. What's his face? Those movies that I like with. Oh my god, The Glass Onion, the first one. It compels me, James. It compels
me. Yeah, you're talking about Knives Out.
Knives Out. It compels me as I look at it.
Yeah,
no, I want to see that movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like some of these aren't what we wanted, but I could use this as a prompt and go, all right, let's make something up with this. This is a cool image. Even though
a little bit like Beetlejuice meets Long Legs.
Oh yeah. And as I said, I saw it and I was like, who has been feeding make Nick Cage this, make Nick Cage that? Is it people trying to make his next movie? If so, I'm on to you and I want to join your team.
What a shocker. Right. People have been feeding Beetlejuice into AI, but not Holy Grail or Dead Heat.
Well, it tells you, again, it can only learn from what it's given. All right, so our next one should be Joe again. I may have messed up the order here. Okay. Joe, you wanted Airplane.
Yeah, I did. Again, I wanted another comedy.
You did another comedy. Any reason particularly for Airplane?
Yeah, I don't know how this could be an anime.
Yeah, because of the planes. So if you know anything about Airplane,
do you want it to transform into a Zord or something?
Hold on, let me finish. If you know anything about Airplane, the plane itself, it never occurred to me till I was in my late 20s or early 30s that not only does the plane look like shit, but they're on a jet plane with a propeller plane with the audio of the sound effect of a prop plane. It never occurred to me till I was in my 20s and 30s of how buried that joke is. And I love the idea of anime doing that. I don't know why. I love the idea of all the shit you could do when you cut to the plane of it doing that. I love all the ideas uh, of all the sight gags that you could do with anime, which also goes back to, and God forgive me, but there is a topless lady for no reason in Airplane, right? As there's like, they're shaking. Of all the different, surely you can't be serious. I am serious. Don't call me Shirley. I just think it's just hilarious and would love this. I can't wait.
And Leon is getting larger.
Larger. That character actually died just a couple of years after Airplane 2. It's a really sad story. Died of HIV.
So
I think.
this is the, of course, classic movie poster for Airplane. This is, however, what AI says
I can't wait.
we should get.
This works.
I love,
except I don't know what's
the
going
middle
on
one.
in the middle.
The middle one's actually maybe my favorite because it makes no sense.
Yeah. What the
one on the far right is my least favorite. And
It's
the one
trying
on
to
the
have
left-
I like the one on the far right because it has something to, like he's playing with one of the planes like it's a toy.
Yeah, well, but the one in the middle kind of has that. It's trying to be a smile, so it's trying to show that this is a comedy, I guess, right?
None of this works.
Right.
I'm so glad I picked this.
That's what I mean. Some of them, again, these could work for something. It's just not Airplane.
What is going on in that middle picture?
But
Well,
the
there's a-
serious one on the left, that actually, the more I look at it, it may work, the one on the left, because he's so serious when he delivers all those goofy ass lines in anime.
But there needs to be some kind of comedic element in there. And there's not.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm sorry,
I think if they
Chad.
deliver, I agree with James. I mean, I think if you deliver that, hold, give me mayo, hold that. Give me ham on one, hold the mayo. I mean, if you just say these things in that very, very serious, it could be funny because the movie.
I'm sorry, I'm still.
Well,
play
no,
it
or
for
the
its
entire
serious.
scene where he's going through all his trauma, right?
Right,
And it's the
And we
people
do all the
around him that are
flashbacks.
hilarious.
right.
But when he's sitting there going, that's when, the guy's pouring gas on himself next to him and all that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Chad, compared to some of the other ones we've seen, this one wasn't a complete lemon.
No, it's
in what
not.
it generated.
No, I think actually this one's more spot on than any of the other ones we've hit. I'm sorry. I'm just trying. I'm still just trying to focus on the middle and what that thing is.
By the way, though, this would be a plane, to Joe's point about sound effects and stuff. The one here on the left, if you look, those aren't even on the back. That's going
No.
you're gonna be all over the place.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else before we move on?
I need to get this one off because that middle picture is just baffling me and it's making my head hurt.
By the way, is it because this side has landing gear and the other side doesn't?
No,
Chad?
it's that
Holy shit! I just noticed that, James. Thank you for pointing that out.
No, it's the middle thing. What is that middle thing?
It's a spaceship, obviously, Chad.
It
may have pulled Airplane 2 in too, Chad. I didn't prompt it to, but it may have just.
Here's what it looks like to me.
Umbilical.
I could not use.
I wish you would have showed us those.
Well, I'm not a purveyor of those type of images. All right. Chad, you picked Gremlins. And I agree, by the way. This could easily be an anime. Matter of fact,
I kind of feel like the animated series for HBO is kind of an anime.
Yeah, I was going to say it kind of already has been, but
but at the same time, it's a cute anime. It's not a dark anime, and I think Gremlins could be made into a dark anime.
Well, the original concept was an R-rated horror film. It's a dark film that Spielberg lightened up.
Yeah,
which he likes doing, evidently. I mean, because E.T. was originally going to be,
but there's still some darkness in it.
Yeah,
and the Mogwai thing that's on Max doesn't hit that, and I think Gremlins itself could be a great anime in a darker sense. I just think seeing like it could start out all cute and cuddly like it does, make it more of a comedic anime like you see in, the funnier side. But then when they actually transform, then it gets dark and sinister. And then you get the really fast paced motion of your typical anime fight scenes and how gory they can sometimes get. I think it would make a great anime. But yeah, I don't think that the Mogwai series is not, in my terms, a true anime.
But I do have to recommend it. The only thing I actually really liked it, and it has kind of a detailed story that I enjoyed. The only complaint I had is they called him Gizmo in it.
Okay.
Because he's not named Gizmo till he shows up in 1984 years later.
Yep. Earlier, on feeding AI a lot of requests next because Chad, I don't know what this is, but I'll say it's Gremlins.
Gremlins 2.
I like the one on the left.
Oh, the one on the
one
left.
on the left looks a little. It's not Gremlin-ish. It's something. Oh man, what does it look like?
I don't know, man. I mean, and again, I would watch that series, but I don't think that's a Gremlin.
No, it's a Mogwai, but I mean, you're not really seeing it. That's Gizmo, like that's modern Clint Eastwood Gizmo. That's what that is.
Well, on the right, why is that female, whatever that is, watching the James, say androgynous. Androgynous person up at them while they write something?
Well, and then
obviously that that Mogwai is a tax accountant, and he's just making sure everything's coming together.
I'm more interested in the damn poster behind those two people. Is that some sort of Mysterio?
Well, yeah. If you look closer, she's obviously that demon thing is obviously slowly killing her because she's not even writing on the paper; she's writing on the desk.
That's where you hide your answer.
So then she's going cross-eyed again. What is it with AI making these people's eyes look weird? I like the first one, the one on the left. It looks like a badass Gizmo. Now, granted,
his jacket.
It's not showing.
You like it. You like it because it's Chip and Dale meets Gizmo.
Exactly. That's why I like it.
They're going to go solve some mysteries, like that one in the back with the tail that evidently has a knife on the end of it. I don't know what's going on there, but he's the troublemaker of the group.
Now, James, the one in the middle, I don't even know why you included it. It doesn't,
dude, because I don't know what that is, but I'd like to watch the pilot.
What's the monster, and what are they? Why are they looking at the monster at the bottom? And what's the monster?
They're not looking at the monster.
That's what I think. I was going to say. Yeah, I think the
one's looking straight. The one on the middle and the right are looking straight, but the one right here, the little goofy thing with it's looking over to the kind of the right, left, I guess to its left.
So yeah, we have a Gizmo. So for those who are not listening, who are not watching it on YouTube, the middle picture that we're looking at, you have what kind of looks like a cat Gizmo on the left. In the center, there's a girl with cat ears.
Yeah,
and some kind of yellow thing.
Feather tail, like I don't know, maybe something out of like Tails from.
It looks like one of those. It looks like an actual bell, like on a clock on town square with two
feathers. Yeah, and then there's a blonde girl, and they're looking at over to the left hand side. There's a head of a lizard.
Yeah, like a gremlin-ish lizard with teeth, but flat teeth, not fang.
Yeah, and it looks nothing like a. In other words, we're very confused at what we're looking at here, what AI has done to Gremlins, other than the left-hand side, which kind of looks like Gizmo.
But again, I don't know what that middle is, because I agree it isn't Gremlins. But if somebody goes, okay, let me tell you the plot. They're going on a mystic adventure, and they find, I don't know, lizard dogs. I'd be like, okay, you got 15 minutes. I'll give you 15 minutes. If I'm interested, I'll watch the rest.
And for those who, again, who are listening to us on SoundCloud, so left hand, you do have a Japanese Gizmo thing. And he's wearing a brown coat
with a button of some sort.
Yeah, kind of like a Top Gun type coat with blue jeans, a white shirt, and behind him is another Gizmo type character, but this one has a tail coming out of its head.
with a knife or something. But you left the one up on the right, this tail looks like poo. Which I thought you would notice immediately.
I did not notice that until now, but yes, it looks like it has a tail coming out of its butt and it's turning into poo.
There's a lot going on in these images.
Yes.
Again, this bounce over to YouTube, folks. I can't. Okay, now
Man,
I'll go to my pick. So I was
what
going
the
to,
hell, James?
dude. I was going to do the Seventh Seal.
I think that's a fantastic pick
Oh,
because it
Chad.
makes no
But
sense.
Demi
Like
Moore,
Airplane.
Chad.
but
Chad.
Demi Moore doesn't look like she could be in an anime.
Oh, Chad, I hate Chad.
Oh, she was.
Let me
built
tell
for it.
you. Remember when I said there were certain images I had to cut out?
Yeah.
I don't know what people have been feeding into the AI about the Seventh Seal and women and whatnot. Oh my God, it was bad, folks. Like there was things going on that was just completely not right and confusing and terrible at all levels.
Do you want to explain what the Seventh Seal is for those people who may not know what it is?
Yeah, so the Seventh Seal is a movie about it's famous for the scene of the knight playing chess
Yes.
with death.
Yeah, it's what they ripped off Bill and Ted's
Bogus
Bogus
Journey.
Journey.
But and that scene where they're all dancing together is you always use if they're trying to do a quick shot of
He
something
didn't get mad
artistic,
at me,
they use
folks.
that.
He didn't get mad at me.
Yes, I'm just ignoring you. This anyway. But so that's what it is. It's during the plagues, and everybody's well, not everybody, but quite a few characters will end up dying, and it's about death. He plays chess with death to try to buy himself more time, and it's very allegorical and all that stuff. I put this into AI image generators, and the amount of images it showed of women evidently instead of playing chess to prolong their life with death, they were doing other things with death. It was very concerning. The ones that I felt could actually kind of play into this.
What were they doing? Parcheesi?
Yeah, Chad, that was it. Here's what it gave me. These were the three images it gave me. Obviously, the redhead here on the left is death, and this is the knight. I don't remember that scene, but I'm intrigued.
James, I think you put extra effort into yours to make yours look cooler than ours because
Dude,
this
I
actually
wish.
looks like the Seventh Seal.
I
Seventh,
wish
Yeah, I actually
did.
kind of like the middle one.
yeah.
Yeah, well, and that was so. It's supposed to be death, I guess, on top, and then the knight on the bottom. But these are not overly. This is not. Oh crap! Who played the knight? He's also in Star Wars.
I have no idea who you're talking about. It's not like he was in The Exorcist. Max von Sydow.
Thank you. I don't know why I
You're welcome.
blanked
And
on
I
his
don't know
name.
what's the one on
He's
the
also
right.
the voice of Ghostbusters 2. Why did I forget the name of
Vigo.
Vigo?
You are but flies. The buzzing of flies. To me.
Eyes.
The one on the right, I don't know what's going on with her hands.
Eyes are one of them because one of them's like this.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'm just comfortably resting my head on my
and her pinky finger looks like it's melting.
That looks like her thumb.
Yeah,
This looks like her thumb's over here and her pinky's on the wrong side.
Yeah.
her hands are all messed up.
Yeah. I never
So-
didn't pay attention to that.
But
And
no, Chad,
don't even notice the chessboard, which again is melting.
well, I mean, death. You're playing chess with death. Maybe they use different types of pieces. I don't know. Yeah, or also ignore the fact that in the middle there's two white squares side by side and random, and the black squares aren't even. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
We're all fine. But no, I'll be honest. Like the one here on the left, there were a lot of images like this, but much more graphic. And I was like, nah, I can't use that. But yes. No, I mean, I don't want us to lose our YouTube license.
Mm.
But yep, so there you go. That's what they said the Seventh Seal was about. Notice none of the circus performer parts are in there. None of that. Nope. Just
It's been a minute since I've seen the Seventh Seal too.
Mainly women playing chess, even though it's a knight and death, and they're both and death is shown as masculine. Evidently, anime says nope, it's all going to be women.
Yeah. Which
Now, Joe, I used both movie posters here to make sure I captured the one you wanted.
Well, obviously, it's the first one.
I knew nobody was going to pick this but me.
Well, Joe,
The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So I was probably, man, I'm sure I was in my 20s or 30s, but before I realized that Tarantino had ripped off so much of Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, like all the characters being named different colors, that's all from The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. It's a movie from the 70s where Walter Matthau, Robert Shaw, Martin Balsam, then it was remade a few years later. And this is really convenient that it tells me that Tony Scott directed it with Denzel and John Travolta. And actually, uh, the remakes is good too. They're both
Mhm,
good movies. The remake's good too. I can never. Of course, I want you to watch the original one just because I think it's a little grittier, a little harder of a movie.
mhm. Yep.
But they're both really good, and it's about these people who take over the subway, and I guess to steal money. Yeah, they're trying to get the New York to pay them money. I don't remember what John Travolta's trying to get them to do in the remake. Is it to get them to pay money as well? I don't
I
remember the
can't. I
MacGuffin.
think so, but I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen the remake.
And why this popped in my head when I was trying to think of my third one, I don't know. But I truthfully wasn't thinking of the remake. I was thinking of the original one and Walter Matthau as an anime character. And I'd already done two comedies, so we weren't going to do Grumpy Old Man, which or what do you guys think about The Odd Couple as an anime? Just saying.
I should have. That would have been a fun one to see what it came
I
up
think
with.
it's so
Given
I
what I
wanted to
found
some
other places, it would have been two women.
So I wanted to do something a little gritty, something where there is violence because I didn't really have a lot of violence in my other two picks, and where people are going to get shot, where there could be some blood, where
We
it's going
kind
to
of
be
already have an anime with the Odd Couple, One
what is
Punch
it?
Man.
I've never seen it or heard of it, but the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 was my pick.
So
And check out
Hector,
both versions. Check out both versions, but especially check out the one from the 70s, directed by Joseph Sargent.
and evidently based on the book, since the tagline says "Everyone read it, now you can live it."
Live it, right?
Um, I just assumed you wanted to see anime Hector Elizondo.
Actually, I
By the
want to see
way,
animated. I want to see anime Martin Balsam.
mm, falling down those stairs all spinny.
Mm.
Um, they actually had a problem with this one too. This is all I could come up with.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God. The
god,
middle one looks kind of like Constantine. They
that
actually
was
all
yeah.
kind of three look kind of like Constantine.
Well, here's what I immediately thought.
None of these work. This is the
Is
Yeah.
there
worst
a
one
scene?
yet.
And why
Is
does
there
the
a
one
scene
on the left
where
have
Walter
the
Matthau has his shirt open?
no?
No, but it clearly they did it for me. If you're watching, you can I'm showing my chest hair at the top. I mean, clearly one on the left is showing his chest hair for no good reason. But they all kind of look like Constantine.
What
Huh.
and the one on the right?
There's not even a subway in these
there's a
damn
random
things.
gun over here that seems to be floating in the air. There's a random arm coming out. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And the one
And
on the
there's
left, just had a DeLorean shoot past him.
That's true. There's two just for no reason at all. And what in the
flames.
hell is that thing below this girl's face right here? That's this amalgamation at the bottom. It looks like one of the figures Stephen King talks about in the sixth or seventh
It,
dark, the ones who serve the Dark Tower, who don't
no, no,
blow men
what
in yellow coats.
no, Joe, what has happened is that's where the character from Showbiz Pizza went.
But it's kind of like one of those characters that he talks about in the Dark Tower series, and the other was those things that serve the beam, the tower. Yeah, that looks awful. This is the worst one in my opinion
Well,
because it doesn't even have a subway.
no. Well, and I just appreciate random guy
I
yelling
wanted
on
a
the far
sandwich.
right.
I still think because there are some elements of that could be from. I think Dead Heat's the worst so far, in my opinion.
Well,
I
don't
don't
worry,
know.
gentlemen. There's still bad things to come.
Oh, good lord!
That was my third one. Keep going.
Oh, I did. You actually sent four, so I did a fourth one because Chad had an
Oh,
honorable mention, so I did them all.
I
So
don't remember.
Chad, you
I
picked Darkman.
I did this one last because I think this is the perfect anime.
Well, it's the one set up. It's clear. It's easily an anime.
It's the most easiest that could be an anime. I mean, A, it's a superhero. B, it's dark as hell. There's tons of action. You could it actually an anime might enhance some of Sam Raimi's work.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could compare Darkman to some of like Ghost in the Shell, Vampire Hunter D. You could add elements of Akira. You could just keep even one of my damn favorite animes of all time, as I mentioned earlier, Ninja Scroll. All of those elements could be combined to make a perfect Darkman anime. And honestly, I would actually pay to see a Darkman anime.
Well,
but
then
I
you
am
can,
deathly afraid of what James's AI has done to one movie that I absolutely cherish.
I would say, well, then there's no danger of you having to pay me for what you're about to see because I don't know if it's Darkman. Though, again, I will argue some of this was interesting. So, gentlemen, here are the, I think, 3 images that it gave me for a Darkman anime poster.
The hell is
What?
this?
I don't know what any of that is.
None of this is Darkman.
And the character in the back in the middle is once again straight out of a Star Wars anime.
And why is his hand jacking off in his pocket? What is he doing?
Well, that's pocket pool, son. You just that's when you're I don't know what the hell's on his face. You're worried about him playing pocket pool, and I can't figure out what the fuck's on his face.
And
And the
what's
one guy, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
The one on the right,
Do you mean
it
David
still
Bowie?
looks like Constantine to me.
No, that's David Bowie, which is what Constantine's based off of. I forgot. Yeah, it's Constantine doing magic. The one on the left could kind of be Darkman.
Yeah, but he looks more like a character out of an anime for Resident Evil.
He looks like a
He
G.I.
works
Joe
for the
character.
Umbrella Corporation.
Yeah. James.
These are dreadful.
I think, gentlemen, the image on the right, I think, is because when it did its AI check, it saw the poster. If I jump back a slide, for Darkman that has the fire on it and all that stuff, and it went, well, I'll put fire in it, and I think that's how we get the one on the right. I think it saw that Liam Neeson was in the movie, and that's its attempt at Liam Neeson.
And the one in the middle with the droopy face, and I'm assuming that's blood dripping out behind is those body parts behind him?
You're worried about that. Here's what I'm worried about in the middle.
The
What
one
is up
pla-
with that keychain? You're worried
in
about him
pocket
playing
pool.
pocket
Yeah,
pool.
those have to be
And why
body
in the
parts.
hell, why does he have a random ass keychain hanging there?
Dude, I was focused on that too, but then I was like, okay, I'm ignoring the keychain. I was trying to focus on something else, the body parts in what I think is a wheelbarrow. What is this?
Oh, you're talking about, I see, Joe thought that was a character, like an alien character.
I thought
but
that's
you're
an
right.
alien in the back.
Maybe
That
that's a
looks like
pile
a
of
straight up
bodies.
alien from, to me, it looks like an alien from Star Wars anime.
I thought it was a bunch of different body parts.
See, you could see his 2 eyes and his face right there and his lips.
Or
I
that
thought
could
that was
be,
I thought that was a severed head.
or it could be 2 kidneys resting on a spleen.
Yeah, I didn't see body parts. I see it as a character.
Yeah, well, you're getting a little bit
Joe,
of.
do you think this keychain at the bottom is to offset the one that he's got hanging from his collar up here?
I think
Like
it's one of
counterbalance?
those. There's a House episode where a guy gives his kid, and it's filled with the uranium, and it makes the kid sick. And believe it or not, House MD is able to figure it out in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the show and save the kid.
Well, if I wasn't
So
too
was it
disturbed,
lupus?
It wasn't lupus, and I'm afraid this guy thinks he has lupus. And the shadow here makes the mask look like it comes down dumbass like. Oh, it makes no sense.
and then if you look really closely at the hand that isn't playing pocket pool, there's some weird shit going on.
Yeah, it's because his fingers are jacked up like all the other fingers we've seen.
Yeah.
Because that thumb don't work that way. It's on the
If it
wrong
wasn't
side again.
if it wasn't for the pocket pool and the keychain, I would say the middle one is the closest we get.
See, I think the one on the left, as far as the messed
Yeah, I'm
up
going to stick with
face.
the Umbrella Corporation dude.
Yeah, me too. Just because. All of them are shit.
This is
Well,
terrible.
I think one of the things is, like, if this was live
Fire this
action,
fucker.
if we would have paid for these, I would have had words.
So
But what was I
Darkman
doing?
didn't break the
No,
the
Darkman did
Bro
not break.
hands.
Okay.
Darkman did not break. By the way, this is a bonus one
That one's the best one.
that's why I saved it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that one might
That
work.
that wins.
Yep.
That actually wins.
So,
That actually makes a decent AI.
yeah, that
actually
one
makes a decent anime.
that one came from, it was at the very bottom, and I was like, oh, I'll save that one too. So I did throw that one in because I was like, that one actually is what I thought, but except I thought kind of looks like the spirit, but okay.
A little, yes.
Yeah, the hat's a little different, I guess. But yeah. Well, it looks
But
like
at the
let's
same
be
time,
truthful, it looks like
Darkman,
5,000.
the only reason he
superhero
made
comics.
Darkman is because he couldn't make the Phantom, and
Yeah.
the Phantom already kind of looks like the Spirit. So
That's what I'm saying. It looks like 5,000
Or
different
Rorschach.
superhero Rorschach. I mean, it looks like
Yeah.
with a jacket.
But
It's just
again,
an
gentlemen,
iconic
these
look.
fingers are in business all
Yeah.
for themselves.
By the way, he's not referring to the picture anymore.
But at the same
He
time,
says
in
these
Darkman,
fingers.
his hands were already messed up, which is what drove him insane because he couldn't. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
kind of
That's
works.
fair. All right. Now, gentlemen, let me tell you where I made a huge mistake.
Black
James.
Snake Moan.
James, how could this be an anime, man?
I can't wait to watch it, Chad. Shut your horse mouth.
Well, yeah, I
You
would
wanna
prefer to
talk
watch the
about
live
one-
action.
You want to talk about one that gave me all sorts of weird things that I can't unimagine.
Well, obviously, what were you thinking?
I was trying to think of why wouldn't you want Samuel L. Jackson and Christina Ricci in an anime? Why wouldn't you want that?
But just look at the poster, and you're going to feed that in the AI.
Well,
Yeah.
all I
What did you
said was,
expect?
make me an anime poster, make me a poster for if Black Snake Moan was an anime. That was the prompt I gave. Now it did give me a lot that I can't begin to explain to you all.
I do now understand a little bit more of why he may have cut some. I've been judging him up until this point.
But
Well, I'm still judging you.
here's 3 examples of what it gave me. By the way, on this one, AI went crazy. And across the 3 or 4 different ones I was using gave me like 70 images, most of which I was like, nope. Here we go, gentlemen.
All right, the one on the left. Okay, first of all, the one on the right. All right. I'm not going to say anything going through my head, but the one on the left, where is that snake going? Is it coming out of her or going towards her shoes?
Yeah, you're getting awfully close to hentai, James.
What is explain
That's
hentai to
that's
me?
tentacle porn, James. Joe.
Yeah, it's dental.
How do you know that?
By the way, here's the funny part. I did
Why
have
do you
how-
both know that and I'm the one who didn't?
because we watched television and
Because
Yeah.
you watched there was a pause, by the way.
No, we watched
Oh,
I've
television.
doing
never,
They make-
I've
they make
never
jokes
watched it.
about
I just
in,
know the term.
I think they make jokes about it in Futurama.
Yeah,
I did not. I've never heard of it till right now. If I've heard of it, I don't get me wrong. It's stuck right now with
Here, by the
furries and
way,
whatnot.
To get these images, I had to go back and add a caveat, and I had to add in to get it to make anything I could use. I did have to add with Samuel L. Jackson.
which I would like to see what Samuel L. Jackson looks like in the right picture. The
Yeah,
right
you
picture,
just see
'cause
a
he's
little bit
cut
of him.
off.
You just see the chains going to her, and you
And
see
why
a
are the
little.
chains coming out of her damn head?
That was going to be my next question, but
I do like the corset. We keep the corsets.
yeah.
And I
Now
like the red.
I like the middle picture the most because it looks most like Christina Ricci and Samuel L. Jackson.
Well,
but
what are the white things at the top of her bosom there? What is that white?
Is that
thing?
supposed to be? I assume it's supposed to be a bra. I don't. I-
It doesn't look like it though.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Chad's
And
right. That's
since-
probably but it has the least amount to do with the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least with the other ones, you get the metaphorical snake.
I
on
mean, I
that one,
think
but-
he's holding a chain in the middle picture. In the back, it's
Yeah.
just not attached to her.
It does not
Yeah.
look like Sam Jackson.
Well, it's anime. He's supposed to kind of look Asian.
They took all of his hair off.
Well, that's true. He does have hair in the movie. I forgot about that aspect of it.
Actually, in the
But
one
he
over
did
here on the
say-
right, they took his
But
hair
James said make him look like Samuel L. Jackson, and Samuel L. Jackson looks.
That's true. I did have to add that caveat because, gentlemen, before I put that in, I was just getting a lot of images, and some of them did have snakes in them. But I hate snakes, and I was even worried about some of the snakes' welfares. Some of
one on the
images-
off. That
left-
snake is going to not be able to breathe.
Yeah, and for our SoundCloud listeners, the one on the left is just a blonde lady wearing a black dress walking through an art gallery of some sort,
with a
and there's a
snake
black snake tail
coming from
coming
her
out
feet. It looks
feet.
like it seems like it's a little bit wrapped around her ankle, but coming forward, and you
And
don't see the
she's-
face of the snake.
and she's smiling about it, which makes me think she's some kind of witch or something.
Yeah,
Which
it's
again,
definitely-
I would watch a witch film if that was the poster. I mean, it just doesn't seem like it's connected to the movie.
So
after
do
that.
all three of us vote the one on the right with the chains coming out of her head?
well, I like the corset.
I mean,
I
And at
still don't
least
understand the chain.
it does have her chained at the wrist. It does. I mean, so
Yeah.
it is closest to the film.
And it looks like Samuel L. Jackson. If we could see the whole picture of him, he looks more angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would go for the one on the right.
Yeah, the one in the
Yeah.
middle seems it looks a little bit like The Professional to me for some reason. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know. It's like they're
Yeah.
off to kill somebody and they're going
Yeah.
to go back and get them. And I don't know why the fuck she's going to an art gallery, but a witch would definitely nail it.
The one
I
on
mean,
the
I think she's a witch, and there's.
I look at-
these are three interesting movies. I don't know if they have anything to do with Black Snake Moan.
I look at the one on the left. I look at the one. I look at the one in the middle, and I'm playing the Mary Tyler Moore's theme song in my head.
Now that right up there with hentai of what's in your head?
I can make it after all, and throw my hat up in the air.
Did not put those two things together.
No, but once again, Joe or Chad writes a script, and we'll see if we can get Samuel L. and Christina Ricci on the phone and make it happen.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to throw this motherfucking hat in this motherfucking air right motherfucking now. Because this
All
motherfucking girl's going to motherfucking make it in the motherfucking city.
Now I want to watch it, and I don't want. I mean, I love Christina Ricci, but she doesn't have to be involved anymore. Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson doing that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
She's gonna make it after all in this motherfucking city.
So Joe,
Yeah.
you picked The Searchers,
Right.
which I thought was an inspired pick. And actually,
and it hit me.
I think it's a good pick.
as
and it
far
hit
as
me
a
at the
quest
end.
film,
Yeah, it's a
Right.
quest film, thank you. But honestly, I picked it because John Ford and the John Ford imagery. So I actually went down, I made a joke, I said earlier, and I was being quite serious. I was like, yeah, those were the ones, and it was Chad's picks. But I got to thinking about it, and I wanted to do a comedy. And what happened is I ended up picking like 6 comedies. It was almost Blazing Saddles. It was almost Young Frankenstein. It was like
Hey.
the reason, yeah.
Just real quick, James, I find it funny that our honorable mentions, Joe and I, went kind of in the same direction, but not.
but
Go ahead.
not.
But then it occurred to me that we didn't really have, and I didn't know what James was going to pick, but we didn't really have an iconic. I mean, there's several. I guess these are several movies are iconic, but
Mine's
if you
iconic.
ask
My last one's iconic.
Spielberg said at one point to him the most influential film as far as just visual is The Searchers, and whether you like it, there's a ton of problems with it. I get it, and now looking back at it from 2024, there's not only the racism but the ageism, and I'm not going to get into any of that because we're judging movies at a different time, but it is very much an iconic film with some of the best John Ford picturesque, just beautiful paintings on the screen. From the opening of the door, from the closing of the door, I just would love to see that in an anime. And you're right, James. And it's a quest story. It works for anime. It has violence. It has killing. It has a family broken apart. A young lady who's in distress. It has most of everything that you would think of in an anime film.
And even the original poster here, he had to find her. He had to find. I mean, it's very
Yeah.
much that would work as a pitch for an anime.
And he
and by the way,
damn near killed her
Rectum,
because he was racist as hell. And
yeah. And so again, actually, this would be one that if somebody came out and said, "Hey, we are doing that," I'd be like, "Okay, I'll probably watch that. I'll watch it, sure." I don't know if AI got the memo though, Joe. I mean, I don't know.
This is
I
gonna be
don't
awful.
know how well it handles westerns.
shit, this is dreadful.
What
This is
the
fucking
hell
dreadful.
did it?
This
So-
looks to me, especially the one on the left, looks like the cheesecake art that they put on those romance novels. And I shouldn't say cheesecake, it's not, but those slutty art with the guy who's got long
Highlander
hair
type
and the
one with the kill
muscles and
yeah.
whatnot. Yeah, on the left. The one on the right looks like a ripoff of somebody who heard about the Dark Tower and thought it was about horses, and that's the gunslinger walking
Yeah,
up to the giant horse
I
he's
love
got to
that
find.
one. I
So
love
yeah,
that one
why did they
because-
make the horse 20 feet tall?
Dude, I have no idea. But when it
Because Roland
generated-
Chad has to find the horse.
And
But
I just love it. I love the fact that they made John Wayne a hair metal band on the left picture.
Well,
But that's the one I'm talking about. And the one in the middle is straight up Spirited Away, right?
yeah, well, and that's what's really funny because I was like, okay, it's I assume It's
Am I
interpreting
wrong
that as
though?
yeah. I'm assuming that's the interpretation of that's who he's looking for. That's his daughter, right? And so
Not the
I was like,
movie. It's his.
yeah,
Yeah, it's his niece, I guess, isn't
niece.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's his niece.
But I assume that's supposed to be the woman he's looking for. And so you've got her in the background. I can kind of interpret that, but no, I'll be honest.
But she's in a fucking labyrinth. Why did they build a labyrinth underneath them of wood? And on top of that, who
because
are the
he's
searchers?
searching.
Who are the searchers on the left-hand side?
I was gonna.
You know,
It's
Again, it can't
searchers?
do text. But no, but dude, I'll be honest. When it generated the horse standing in the flames with him just looking at it, I started laughing because
Yeah,
that was
and
the first one it generated, and I'm like,
the
no,
sides
that's
are on,
it.
and the sides of the hall are on fire. So I guess he's entering the gates of hell.
Truthfully,
you-
though, gentlemen,
well-
that's the only movie out of the three I want to watch. I have no desire to see the other two, but this giant ass horse and him going to hell, I want to
Which,
see.
by the way, is evidently in the Capitol building because it's got this nice dome there,
Yeah.
or it's at
Yeah.
the bottom of a clock. I don't know, but I'm intrigued. I laughed the entire time when it was
I'm
generating.
glad you've had a
these.
really good time with this.
Oh man, no, because every time I was like, no, it'll be a good one. We'll get one or two good ones where I'm like, oh no, that nailed it. We're done. No, gentlemen, we did
Nope.
not. But again, I agree. Some of these I'm like, listen, I'll give you 15 minutes. Pitch me your story based on this image.
Yep, this giant ass horse.
So, and the fact that the one on the left is the most John Wayne that AI can do tells us that AI is not ready. Do not worry about AI taking over yet. We're probably in the clear. That's not even Genghis Khan, John Wayne.
Just it's
Now,
See, Joe,
Chad,
we were on the same track.
Chad,
no. I said iconic, and you gave us this.
We both went
Actually, do you
Western.
know I've never actually seen it? I think I've
I
only
have.
seen scenes from it.
I have. Peter David wrote it.
Whom we've interviewed, who's been on the
Interviewed.
show.
And it's a lot of fun. It's goofy fun.
It is.
It really
I still
is. I
love
enjoy
it. Yeah, I actually, it's goofy.
I probably
fun.
should watch it. Is it streaming on Tubi?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's Charles, but Full Moon, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I think most of all of his things are on Full Moon.
And by the way, folks
Or
who are
on
listening
Tubi.
to us on SoundCloud, we are talking about the movie Oblivion.
Not the other Oblivion that you may have actually seen.
Yeah, no, this is a space western.
It's cowboys and aliens before they make cowboys and aliens.
Yeah, and this one's actually entertaining.
Now, Chad, I'll be honest.
Easy now.
Before it could ever generate an image, I had to go Oblivion, nothing. Or it actually started creating images based on that other Oblivion. So I put it in Oblivion and the movie year. It still went, no. I put in Oblivion, Full Moon Entertainment, movie year. Nothing. Like it still was going back to the other Oblivion. Finally, I put in the entire description of the film for my IMDb, the year, the director, and everything. And sir, you broke every AI that I was using. I used 5 different AIs for this process. Only 3. I actually made it to our samples here, but according to those AIs, here are the images that would be what the anime for this film would look like.
Oh, I'm so excited. That is absolutely awful.
I think this is supposed to be George Takei, the superhero.
Well, I really want to see the movie on the right.
But
I don't
George-
know what the right is, but I
Yeah,
agree.
but there's
it's not
no-
Oblivion.
There's no red eye. Like they're all dressed like, the cool thing about Oblivion is they're all dressed like old Western people, but they're in space.
Yeah.
That literally looks like Phantasm meets the Dark Tower meets.
Yeah, it does.
whatever.
I was going to say the Dark Tower, but I thought I'd said it too much. But it literally looks like the Dark Tower meets something. Meets something.
That's a spaceship. I thought that was a flying orb on the right hand side. That's spaceship. That's why I said Phantasm. Yeah.
But
It does
the
still
guy-
kind of look like a
yeah.
flying orb with something attached to it, though. And why are there
Yeah.
2 castles? Why is there one
Well,
in the
because
middle
Yeah,
and
there's
then one
no
off in the
castles in
distance?
Oblivion. It's just an old
Because
Western
one's
town.
a space castle, Joe.
I like the red dress, the crimson dress.
Yeah. Oh well,
That's
this
nice.
gentleman I'm going to assume the guy on the top right is a bad guy because he has 5 fingers on one hand, but at least 6, if not 7, on the other one. So he's got a lot going on there.
That's for pocket pull as we've now going to go back and forth. I tell you, the one on the left is completely forgettable and looks terrible. There's
Yeah, the one on the
nothing-
left looks like a cross between Craven the Hunter George Takei and Nightwing. And
Oh,
then
maybe
they
a little
just
bit of Namor in there. Maybe.
Namor, yeah.
Yeah, Submariner there.
Yeah.
Because yeah, okay, sorry.
Oh God, that's just awful.
But no, you broke it. You're the only one. It gave us now. They may not have been perfect, but you were the only one that had something that was completely unrecognizable, no matter how many details I put in. At one point even tried to put the full cast of the film in, and this still was the only two that it came up with that was anywhere recognizable.
I thought about it all week. I'm like, do I give it to James? I'm like, it's so obscure. I don't even know if AI would be able to do anything
Well,
with
now
it.
you know, sir.
But I just think Oblivion would make a great anime because it's an old Western in space movie with a gunslinger who's drunk versus a lizard with one eye.
No, I mean,
anime.
I agree. It would be a good anime. I would watch it. They could literally just do an animated version of what's already out there, and I would watch it. I'd buy it. But this is not it.
And by the way, the poster with the guy with the robot arm, that has nothing to do with it. There's a cowboy with a robot arm in the poster. Yeah, no, not in the movie.
Are you implying that Charles Band, Full Moon Entertainment, might have tried to sell things when it wasn't exactly represented?
Oh yeah, no, you just draw the poster and sell it, and then say, okay, we got to make this movie. Yeah, no.
Charlie Band's one of the people who will automatically say that, though. I'll give him credit. He will say, that was the way to do it. We come up with a title on a poster and then go make the movie.
Yeah.
And pride himself in it.
God bless him.
All right. I thought, why not Fright Night?
That's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not it's not as broken as Chad's was, but I don't think it nailed it. Fright Night, though, I agree. Fright Night, even the remake.
The remake's good.
Good. It's
poster sucks.
I agree. It's hard to beat the classic posters.
Now that Fright Night, but they should have just reused it. They should have just updated the same damn poster, because I'm telling you, the remake poster is dreadful, and the movie is not that bad and deserved better.
Well, it's just like I said with modern posters, we have to put the celebrities on the poster. It's so stupid.
I guess, but Chad, you can't even tell that that's Colin Farrell, really, unless you know that's Colin Farrell. I mean, if you're walking by it, I don't know that you're going to go, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I just hate the modern poster style of, look, gotta put the celebrity on it.
Make such a cool poster. In fact, if you were able to zoom over right here to my left, is the Fright Night poster signed by most of the cast.
Joe, we can't do that. You would have to zoom over to the left.
I said yourself. If you were able to.
Well, you're able to if you use your hand.
No,
don't ask him to use his hand. Do not. No.
I've already lost a couple of jobs. James.
So I don't think AI nailed this assignment either, but you all be the judge.
Well,
what in the hell is going on the left? It's a cool thing, but I don't know what it's got to do with Fright Night.
I don't either, man. I'd be interested in this movie. It seems to have a lot going on.
It's an interesting image.
Yeah.
The other two kind of look like Supernatural at the bottom.
And then the one at the top that's shirtless, he apparently had his arm ripped off.
I included that one because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I don't know what that is, but it's gonna go on the slide. But I also love the fact that this movie is so good; it's got two eyes in Fright.
No,
it's actually a U, and it's fruit.
No, I actually kind of like the image on the left. If you guys are on YouTube, check it out. If you're just listening later, but the rest of it's just dog shit. Especially the one over these two bottom ones are just Supernatural ripoffs to me.
Yeah, they're just generic.
Yeah. Well, but the one on the left too, again,
and Joe,
it replaced the male protagonist with the female.
Yeah.
Who has evidently a witch,
which is Fright Night Part 2.
Yeah. Which has evidently some sort of witch behind her, and behind that, I don't know, a portal to hell. I don't know what's going on there.
I'm sorry, the antagonist in Fright Night Part 2 is a female.
Hey, Joe, bottom right, look at the very back male character's face.
Yeah, he looks like he's out of Nightbreed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the one on the bottom. Is this supposed to be Roddy McDowall on the bottom, the leftmost of on the right?
It looks like a wig. It's an animated. It even looks like a wig animated.
Yeah. So anyway, but yes, no, it did not. Again, a fascinating image here on the left. Just it didn't make me go, "Oh yeah, you nailed Fright Night."
Yeah, no, it's an interesting image. It's probably the most interesting image we've had so far.
It's definitely in the top 2 or 3, yeah.
Other than I like the dark man, but it was almost an exact replica of. Yeah, but James, this has been a failure, bud.
Oh no, I think it's been great because again, I didn't know we were going to do this, but what we have proven is Bryce, Ken, all these people have nothing to fear
Yeah,
No.
AI is
from
not
AI
going
images.
yeah.
Because
People need to
I'm
relax.
90% sure if I went to Bryce and say, "Hey Bryce, can you make me an anime version of the Fright Night poster?" He's not going to give me fruit, or I don't know. This was trying to say Fright Night behind this guy with one arm, or this, right? He's going to give me, it's going to be original, it's going to be cool, it's going to be awesome. It is not going to be this. So again, oddly enough, I didn't know we were going to actually make this point this well in this episode, but AI art is nowhere near.
Yeah, I truthfully thought it would be better or more interesting. I really did. I'm not being. I thought it would be more interesting or better than this. This has
I did
been
too. Like when I
generic
pitched
and
this
dreadful.
episode, I was like, oh well, maybe we'll get. We did not. We got again something that if you showed me that art and said I'm going to write a story based on that, and then we'll have a real artist do it. Sure, okay. Let me know what you come up with because that's an interesting idea.
Why does it
But
have such a hard time with hands? This bitch's hand over here on her right, over here on the far left one, and the one look at it almost there's 3 fingers and this big ass crooked thumb, and over
Yeah.
here she has 4 fingers and a jack, and the proportion, none of this is correct. This looks like the little guy's hand, the little hand from Chris, what's his face's name from Scary Movie 2. Like, let me get those mashed potatoes for you.
yeah,
My little crippled hand.
Chris Elliott's, yeah.
Chris Elliott, look at this. It's only 3 fingers and a big ass crooked thumb at the end.
Well, that's the whole thing with animation is it's always hard to draw fingers. Hey, comic books, everything, it's hard to draw hands.
yeah, hands and because there's a great artist and I forget who it is, and it's a great classic. It's not a comic book artist, great classical artist, and I forget who it is. But they actually found his notebooks, and so many of them are him just learning to draw hands and getting mad, like he wrote notes to himself, going, "This is terrible, I suck." And he, was a great artist. But anyway, so I didn't know this was going to be the takeaway from this episode. But I'm being honest. What we
Yeah.
have proven is, man,
Or at least for a
support-
free online AI, yes.
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I use multiple ones. Support your local artist because if not, you're getting generic crap.
Yeah.
It's very generic. Even if this was better, there was nothing here that was
But
not.
these are the ones that I used. There you go.
Mhm.
So, gentlemen, that's our pitch. But again, as I was doing this, I sometimes was laughing, but really it did prove to me that people, they're like, "Oh, you can totally make your book cover using only AI." No, don't do that. You're going to be disappointed. Or if you're not disappointed, you're going to have people like us go, "What?"
Yeah, this looks like shit. It looks like shit. It's a good topic. It's good fun. Thank you so much, James, for putting all this together. Now drop dead bitch.
I mean, eventually I will. It's just a matter. Have you seen the way that I eat? God,
I
it's
have actually seen the way
I-
you eat. Yes.
I
I used
buttered
to eat very similar. Well, I
I
actually
but-
still eat the same things, just less.
I buttered pizza earlier and then wrapped it in bacon. Because I'm a
Oh.
man.
I put some honey mustard on some rice earlier, so yeah, I kind of feel you. I'm
Ugh.
not making my story up.
I didn't butter the pizza, but it was pizza with bacon, pepperoni.
That's
Awesome.
what you need. All right, guys. This has been Bonehead Weekly. Let us know if you enjoyed this and you'd like to see us do more of these kinds of things because I've kind of enjoyed this. So let us know, comment, subscribe, and share, but comment and let us know what you'd like to see if we want to do more of these, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, James.
Yep, good times.
Ah.